All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 645 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And we're going to talk more Atlanta Falcons. The Georgia Southern Eagles are moving right along. They're getting closer to playing against the Citadel. Still doing their practices, still doing their scrimmages. Can't wait to see what they do. But they're just handling business. So it's not much to look at over there, to be honest. But I am going to do a few videos on them, a few episodes on them down the road before the season starts, so be on the lookout for that. Nevertheless, we're going to talk some Atlanta Falcons, and today the Falcons signed an offensive tackle, and I'm also going to talk about the expectations that I have for the game against Cincinnati tomorrow, which I plan to attend to. I cannot wait to go see this team up front and in action. 7:30 Eastern time at Mercedes-Benz. I will be there. So it's just going to be pretty much a phenomenal weekend. I mean, it's starting off to be something really, really cool. I cannot wait to see how this all plays out. And just going to be getting to it. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, Google Podcasts. Stitcher will be going down in a few days, I think like on the 29th of August. So if you're going to be on Stitcher, I advise you to move over to another platform and listen to the show. I am in the process of moving the podcast to another podcast in avenue in its place. So be on the lookout for that. Hopefully that works out. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and get right into this. Trevor Reid, let's go ahead and talk about him real quick. Trevor Reid, 6'5", 297 pounds, offensive tackle out of Louisville. He's brought in because Matt Hennessy's going down. His position, offensive tackle, it's going to be interesting if they're going to move him around or whatever the case may be, because it looks like he could play a little bit of everywhere. I like to use the website NFLDraftBuzz.com. I don't know how popular this website is, but they have a lot of information on a lot of players. And the players that are coming in from college to the NFL draft is really interesting because they have a lot of intricate details. I'll have the link down in the description if you want to check this guy out. And sitting at 6'5", 297, looks like he has a pretty good package as far as the, size, strength, and ability. Unfortunately, he was an undrafted free agent out of Louisville. But when you look at what his college career was, he's played a lot of ball. So this is really interesting to see how this plays out. With him playing, over, his 3 years at Louisville, he's played over 1,000, over 1,200 snaps. That's pretty impressive, So he looks like a guy that has a lot of experience as far as playing on the field. So I don't know how that's going to, move over to the NFL, but he was picked up by the Eagles. Eagles dropped them, and he is now a Falcon. Now, as far as his rating on this website, he is 75.5 out of 100, which is not that bad. But when you really look at, for context, we look at Matt Bergeron, who we drafted in the second round. Matt Bergeron was at 85.9, so they're like a 10-point difference. I don't know how big of a difference that is. Does that make you be undrafted free agent compared to a second round pick? I don't know, but being drafted is not necessarily a scale of what type of player you're going to be. I don't know what kind of player this guy is going to be, but I like the fact that they did pick somebody up who is a rookie so they can continue to try to get him to figure out how to play in this scheme compared to somebody who's a veteran and you have to kind of conform to what they do. So enough, I find it interesting because I didn't expect for them to go this route. I kind of thought they was going to go with the veteran, but they went with a rookie. So it's going to be real cool to see how that plays out. Now, let's get to the Falcons' expectations versus Cincinnati. First team is going to play. I want to see this team do some good things. I want to see the first team actually move the ball up and down the field. I know it's against Cincinnati. It may be a tough task, a little bit tougher than we think, but I think with the offensive power that we have, I think we'll be able to move up and down the field. I want to give that Cincinnati defense I want to get a Cincinnati defense a reason to worry about everybody on the field. From I want to see them on the first couple of drives Worry about Tyler Algier and Mac Hollins. Obviously, Bijan Robinson and Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Jonnu Smith. That is a lot to cover. That's a lot to cover for this team. And then we have an offensive line that can move some guys. Maybe we'll be able to do some things. I know Raymond Johnson is probably going to be playing a little bit. I don't know how much he's going to play with the first team. I would like to see him get the opportunity, but I'm not necessarily sure how that's going to play out. But nevertheless, I want to see, a lot of things moving when it comes to the Atlanta Falcons. I want to see these guys do some things when it comes to actually moving of the team up and down the field. I want to see them move some guys off the ball on defense, especially our front seven. It's going to be a test because this is one of the more high-power offenses in the league. So when you see the Falcons actually playing defense and see how they play against, these Cincinnati Bengals, is going to be interesting because, I think Clark Phillips may play. I'm not sure. I know he was injured. He was day-to-day. Then you have a couple other cornerbacks that are down. I don't know how that's going to play. Who's going to be on Chase? Who's going to be on the other guys? How are they going to get to Joe Burrow? What about Joe Mixon? Is he going to play? I think Joe Mixon's still on the team. But it just never, you know what I mean? How are they going to do that? Are they going to get enough pressure up front to get to Joe Burrow a couple of times? That will be phenomenal. Because like I said, last year, Cincinnati was the first team that really handled us. And it was the only team, to be honest, that really handled us last year. And it's going to be somewhat of a test to see how we play against them, at least in the first, few series that we do have our first team out there. Other than that, I just want everybody to be healthy, play safe. I want people to continue to get better at their positions. I want to see some guys, really get into the groove of actually playing at a high level. And, just another day at the office at the end of the day. So I want to see these guys do some great things. And I think they'll be able to. I just think, when you really look at it from a certain perspective, you get kind of nervous. You want to get riled up. But then again, it's what all that Arthur Smith has done, how will it relate at this point? I know we saw the first game. We saw a lot of backups go in. And those guys were they were ready to play for the first string. Everybody was vying for a first. Everybody was vying for a first string job. Everybody on the front, everybody on that team looked really good for a 19-3 win. But does that same intensity, does that same firepower, does that same desire trickle over to the first team, or the first team already got it and did it trickle down to the other guys? That's the thing that I want to know. How is that going to play out? Because it's a little bit nerve-wracking a little bit, because this year is the year that I feel like this is the first true year for Arthur Smith. Now, I know the first two, it was what it was, but for you to have all this cap space, to bring the guys you wanted to bring in, to draft the quarterback you wanted to draft and get him developed, to do all these things like you want to do, you're not inheriting that much no more. You have the guys in that you want now. So I feel like you set this team up this way. This year is your year to show us what you wanted to put out there, not necessarily what you inherited the first couple of years. So now it's should I be hyped? Should I be ready? Should I be, you know what I mean? You want to, but then there's a little bit of nervousness. But I think at the end of the day, I think we're going to be fine. I'm just a little nervous. I just don't know. I don't know how this is going to play out, but I want this team to be ready to go. There's no doubt about it. I want this team to be ready to go. I want this team to be on point. I want this team to be at the ready point to tackle anything that comes their way, because you're going up against teams that's going to be ready. There's just no doubt about it. These teams are going to be ready. The Bengals are going to probably come out swinging, especially they play their first squad, and you know how the Bengals get down. I mean, they just been in the Super Bowl not too long ago, and then we played them the following year, and you saw what happened against them. So it is something to really think about. I feel like at the end of the day, we should be all right. I think we should be good. I think we should be ready to go. And I'm just a little nervous, but I'm going to be at the game. I want to see it firsthand. I want to see Bijan Robinson run the ball with my own two eyes. I don't want to see it on TV. I want to see what these other guys on the field could be able to do with this new a quarterback with Desmond Ridder. Want to see how the other backups do. Just really want to see how this is going to play out, because it is really it's really a turning point in the franchise history. You know, we just got finished, you know, really having Matt Ryan, and you had a gap stop with Marcus Mariota, which, you know, how that played out. You know, before then, I mean, you had a stint with Michael Vick. It's just a lot that we had to deal with, and now it look like we have our quarterback of the future. Just want to see how that plays out. We have the coach of the future, the GM of the future. We got everybody that we want, and I just want to see how that plays out, because like I said, I'm just a little nervous about it. So let me know what you guys think. Don't have much else to talk about them on it. It's just my expectations is I just want to see these guys execute and do a good job. So I don't know how that's going to play out, but I really hoping to be, surprised. I want to be pleased. I want to be happy with what I see. You know, with that being said, I'm going to be at the game. Hopefully, if you guys going to be there, if so, I hope to see you there. I'll probably be wearing a Falcons jersey, you know, representing, and maybe I'll run into some of you guys. I don't know. So let me know what you guys think. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. What do you guys think? I mean, what is on your mind about this team? Is this team ready to go? What do you think about the expectations, or what do you think about this game coming up? You think they're going to have the same intensity as against the Dolphins, or you think the first team is just going to be figuring its way out? I don't know. I'm just a little, curious about it. I don't know. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble, also Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, Google Podcasts. Stitcher will be going down shortly, so I will try to put another podcast avenue in its place. I can be found on X at VFBaller. Also, the website is firstandframerates.com. And look, this is a little bit shorter episode. Oh, there may not be an episode tomorrow because I'll be at the game. But I'll probably do an episode on Saturday, give you a recap, or I might just do a quick video, give you a recap of what's been going on. All right, y'all, I'm going to get up out of here. All right, y'all take it easy, and y'all be blessed. Peace.